Greetings and good afternoon. My name is Sarvess Ganesan, registration number 01DAD20F1015. My warmest regards to our lecturer Juan Rosiaza for the subject Material Science and Engineering DJJ 30113. For our practical task, my Group 3, have decided to do about liquid penetration tests. Now, liquid penetration examination is one of the most popular non-destructive examination (NDE) methods in the industry. It is economical, versatile, and requires minimal training when compared to other NDE methods. Liquid penetrant exams check for material flaws open to the surface by flowing very thin liquid into the floor and then drawing the liquid out with a chalk-like developer. Wells are the most common item inspected, but plates, bars, pipes, castings, and forgings are also commonly inspected using liquid penetrant examination. I will be talking about liquid penetration test procedures. To roughly go through, the first procedure is to, importantly, the test specimen is thoroughly cleaned and dried before test. Then a liquid penetrant is applied to the surface. Dipping or brushing may do this. Over a period of time, the liquid penetrant is drawn into any surface faults by capillary action. Capillary means small action by minor actions, and any excess liquid is removed. Depending on the process being used, the surface is coated with whiting or a developer. Fluorescent or colored dyes drawn into the falls are readily seen under ultraviolet light or as a line in the developer. Okay, to go further into each process, first, step 1 is pre-cleaning of the surface. When we are doing this procedure, we'll have three spray cans which are provided for this test. The first one is named cleaner, as you can see on this image. The technician or the person doing the test sprays the cleaner to test the object and then cleans the surface with a non-used rag or cloth. The sprayed material is evaporated rapidly, so the technician or the person doing the test needs to clean the surface instantly. The surface needs to be free of dirt, rust, scale, paint, oil, and grease to be smooth enough to wipe off the penetrant without leaving residue. Uh, like I said, these are the three spray cans that you get. First one we've seen is the cleaner, then we have penetrant and the developer. Now, step two is the application of penetrant. In the second step, the technician or the person doing the test now applies penetrant spray can to the surface, which is in sharp red color. The technician needs to wait for about 5 to 15 minutes, depends on test procedure. In this time, the penetrant liquid enters the crack. Normally, it is not visible. The penetrant liquid soaks inside of the defects, imperfections by capillary action. As you can see in this image here, this is a penetrant and it is sprayed. Now, the third step is the removal of the excess penetrant liquid. In the third step, the technician removes penetrant liquid from the surface by a rag or cloth and uses back and forth rubbing to clean the surface. No red color should be visible after cleaning. Then the technician takes a clean rag and sprays some cleaner on a cloth and then cleans the surface one more time. This can be done 2 or 3 times to remove all penetrant liquids from the surface. Please note, by capillary action, the penetrant liquid still is in the cracks and not tear or cause any other imperfections. It will not come out by cleaning as described. In the fourth step, the technician takes a developer spray can and agitates it and then sprays to the surface. He then waits for 10 minutes. In this time, the defect will be visible. The developer material uses reverse capillary action and bleeds out the red penetrant. And if there is a crack in the surface, you will see a red line within the white color covered by the developed material. Now, for the final step, the most important step actually, in the fifth step, the liquid penetrant inspector we are talking about in a situation, in an industrial situation, where these tests are commonly done to check all materials. So the ASNT Level 2 Liquid Penetrant Inspector evaluates the test results based on the acceptance criteria indicated in the approved test procedure. Please note one indication might be considered imperfection and be rejected by one acceptance criteria and be accepted by another one. So it is imperative that the test be evaluated with right acceptance criteria. So as I've said, these steps are commonly used in the industry where most materials, almost all materials, are checked using either these methods and commonly liquid penetration tests to evaluate and interpret the data to check if that material is safe to be produced, is safe to be manufactured. So these steps evaluate that material and identify if it's safe to be produced and manufactured. So that is all from me. Thank you. My teammates will take it on from here.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Iqhwan bin Jaafar and my number metric is 01DAD20F101Y. Today I'm going to present why the penetration test is better than ultrasonic, magnet powder and X-ray test. Liquid penetration test is a simple, cheap and easily portable inspection method that requires no equipment apart from spray cans. It can detect surface breaking imperfection only and relies on a color or fluorescent dye sprayed on the surface and penetrating the imperfection. About 15 minutes is generally specified to enable the dye to penetrate and verify imperfections. After cleaning the excess, the dye is drawn to the surface by spraying on a developer dye or developer in the case of the color contrast dye or exposing the surface to ultraviolet light in the case of a fluorescent dye. The imperfection being revealed by the dye staining the developer of fluorescent. The fluorescent dye gives greater sensitivity than the color contrast dye and does not require the use of a developer. It does, however, require the use of an ultraviolet light source and preferably a darkened room, which makes it a less portable inspection method than the contrast dye technique. It also found that liquid penetration test is effective in detecting surface cracks and discontinuities. Ultrasonic testing is effective in detecting internal cracks and discontinuities in the material. Liquid penetration test works even on complex geometric shape. If you are debating whether or not to use liquid penetration test for a job, there are a number of considerations to make. While somewhat complex to explain, liquid penetration testing is actually a fairly simple testing method to implement. For newer NDT technicians, this may be a more reliable method of testing. Liquid penetration testing is also an excellent choice of NDT if you are working with a complex component. Regardless of part geometry, this method will yield a result and it can be performed on a variety of materials. Furthermore, liquid penetration testing is a highly portable testing method if mobility is an important factor in your method selection process. I will explain about the advantage of liquid penetration test. The first is high sensitivity to small surface is continuous. Second is easy inspection of part with complex shape. Next, quick and inexpensive inspection of large area and large volume of part and material. Then few material elimination such as metallic and non-metallic, magnetic and non-magnetic, and conductive and non-conductive can all be inspection. Then a visual representation of a flow indicated directly on the part surface. Aerosol spray can make this process possible, convenience and inexpensive. Indication can reveal relative size, shape, and depth of the flower. The last advantage is it is easy and require minimal amount of training. The disadvantage of this liquid penetration test is detect flow only open to the surface.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Ahmad Naquiddin bin Muhammad. My metric number is 10DAD20F104. Today I will discuss about question 3. Question 3 about categorize this experiment either destructive or non-destructive test and discuss the application of this test at the work area. Okay. Destructive theft testing, destroy or change the parts in some way such that even if it passes the test, it is no longer fit for service. For example, maybe the test line test, 3-point band test or macro section. So, liquid penetrant examination is non-destructive examination, NDE, because this experiment doesn't not destroy or change the part such that it is still fit for a service if it passes this test. So next we discuss the application of this test at the work area. There are many proven applications for liquid penetrant. First one is inspection of tool and dies during manufacture and during use. Second, non-ferrous part at inspection such as connecting rod, piston and cylinder block. Third, forgings and casting for lap, seal and not hot tear. 4 is an inspection of weldment or leak testing of pipe. Last one is fatigue crack in workspace component. So in conclusion, there are many benefits that we can use in this experiment. Last for welder and others. Therefore, this test is very suitable to be included in the workplace. This method is so simple and very useful and can be used in either latch component or in latch bash of a part. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.